Hey, welcome to another. It's great to actually start with a guest. Mr. Whiskey joined me in the green room before we even went live. So we're in good shape here. I'm just making sure everything is kicking in. Welcome to the virtual water cooler, Jamaica, Japan, and and yeah, sorry about last week. It's some technical issues that just overran everything. I had to reset and reboot everything and reconnect channels and all that tech stuff. But should be in good shape. Mr. Whiskey, how are you doing today?
It's been a busy week. Earthquakes, hanging
Oh,
out with women turning 50. I've been doing all kinds of stuff this week. The
same
earthquake
thing.
was not where I'm going to go, and I have not been able to make it over there. Kumamoto, I was interested in exploring. It's near Nagasaki, where I was to sites in the persecution in
Mhm.
Christian history. But additionally, Kumamoto, there's rumored to be the burial place of Musashi Miyamoto. They say that there's a cave there, and it's where he wrote the Five Rings and everything. So I was definitely interested in checking out some of that. And they just had a like, and yeah, it's the third earthquake since I've been here. Three typhoons, three earthquakes. It's the birth pangs of Revelation in book, but in my book, in some people's book, they think it's just nature. But I think that these things are becoming more frequently more common.
It's
So,
still, yeah. It's for me. Yeah. I get it. It's still nature. I mean, we can extract so much from it. I think we're aware. It's one of those things where things are happening, and our awareness and attention of them makes them feel like they are actually more frequent. It's almost like a
one day, just a few weeks ago, three earthquakes in one
yeah.
day.
Well, we have earthquakes here. We had. It's funny because there was a quake about, I think it was a 4 point. It wasn't big.
I don't
Not
know,
to say
Steve. That
that.
might just be your jump roping. You moved to Jamaica. Now there's earthquakes. You start
No,
jump
no,
roping.
there
Now
were
there's earthquakes. There's a
no, no
correlation there.
correlation and
You're
causation.
like
That's
Chuck
another.
Norris. You don't do push-ups. You push the world down. When you don't
Push the
jump
world,
up. You push the world down
push the world
so that you
down.
jump up.
Oh, well, you know what? That's interesting. That's a great. It's a segue into something I wanted to share because I wasn't sure whether I was going to have a guest when I first came on the water cooler, and rather than me sort of just filling in dead air until someone shows up, I was reading through a book that I bought a while back called The Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows, and it's a dictionary of made up words
Oh.
for feelings that we don't necessarily have a word for. And the author is John Koenig. It's kind of Koenig. So I don't know how you pronounce that, Koenig. And one of the words that came up for me today, because it speaks to something that we do, we talk to people in various spaces that are adjacent to us. And the word is sonder, and it's a noun. And it's the realization that each random passerby is the main character in their story, living a
Mm.
life just as vivid and complex as our own, while we are just an extra in the background. So, you know, people say, life is a stage, and we're the main actor on the stage of life, which is ours. And people play parts in it. You got co-stars that are close to you. You got supporting actors, actresses, and then you've got sort of
Right.
the NPCs, right? The non-playing characters that are
Mm.
just backdrops. But for each of those people, they are the main character, and just having that sense that there is an understanding that where we see the world from our main character position is how other people see the world from their main character position. And this ties into our sort of our podcasting. I mean, for me, it's part of that podcasting, that ethos and journey that says, I have these interactions with people to showcase them as the main character because they have a story. Everyone has a life just as vivid and as complex as mine. So it's a great place to start a conversation.
Yeah, I thought, usually when people throw a word at me, it's because they want me to freestyle. So, I saw that you sent me the word sonder, and it's something for you and me to ponder. Jamaica and Japan is where we wander. Yeah. It's interesting because
Beautiful.
my book, thank you. My book, God versus the Indomitable Human Spirit, coming out in sometime in the future. There's a couple words that I go over because I addressed a thing my friend was expressing with me about emotions. How do I say it? These emotions, we can't really, how do I even describe them? These emotions are words like humor, nage, dorselessness, andric, verination, ponish, harfam, kind, or kine, trantivousness, teluge, loric. Some of them are depicted abstractly with artwork because some of them we can't even
Mm. Mm.
find them. I'd like to give you just like a few examples of these because they're pretty interesting. Maybe I didn't define them. Okay, in the original manuscript, I did define all of them, but I decided it kind of detracted from it. But like where
Where were
is it?
those words from?
Oh, he found like where's right? So scholarly
Of course.
sword. But they're it's pretty interesting because some of them hold on, let me pull up the original manuscript because I defined them. Some of them are interesting. Like one of them is much pleasure. Some of them are more spiritual. Um, if you knew how many Google documents and drives I had, hold on, I gotta navigate this place. It's like a labyrinth. I take a piece of string with me every time I go into my Google Drive just to make sure I
Good.
don't get lost.
Good.
Yeah, and I
It's needed.
got for today's water cooler. But let me find because I do think it's interesting. And with
Yeah.
Sonder, it's something that I actually has been brought up on my podcast. Maybe text of that exact word, but it is something we've discussed, that everyone
Mm.
has a story. And a lot of
Hmm.
times we discredit people's stories. And one of the things I've applied Sonder to is patience for road rage. So when we're
Mm. Good one.
often suddenly discredit all the value of the passengers in the car. We don't care about their life. And if you think about how many people are in that vehicle and all the lives that they've touched and may be living, it's interesting. But when we're in that, and I think you and I have had that conversation before of behavior. If you got into the incidents on the road as you did on the sidewalk or vice versa, you act differently. If
Mm.
someone cuts you off in traffic compared to someone walks by you fast, we're more likely to act out in our car and devalue human life. It's
Yeah.
very interesting. We've seen
Yeah.
people throw away lives recklessly during the car wrecks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
where is this? I'm gonna
Yeah.
use the Control F to search for the words. That's easy.
There you go. And
Uh,
yeah, and it's interesting. I was having a conversation with someone this week or late last week, um, in terms of the art of context and nuance. And sometimes, it's interesting having a word like sonder show up, and it's not in a regular dictionary. And the interesting thing that somebody could craft a dictionary of words that are obscure, um,
mm,
and give them a meaning, not trying to make them the everyday word that you use, but I think it gets us to think about how language is formed and how we
mm,
communicate a feeling or an expression from one person to the other. And, when someone sort of describes what the word is, and you go, yeah, I get that. I know that feeling of, of other people having their own lives and being the star of their own lives while I'm the star of mine. Um, and I don't have a word for it, and you put a word to it, then now you've added a sense of nuance and a sense of context to something. Um, and that's part of how we grow. We need to communicate um, in ways that allow us to connect. So
Well, each
definitely
generation
important.
has their own dialect and new words. I don't know,
Mm.
Steve, if you know words like is and these Gen Z words, they have their own language, and they use it in a different way. I'm gonna pull a Steve to amaze you. Something that is
All right.
just only you would
It's
do
got
this.
snacks
I've got
with
brown
in the
sugar deep
chopsticks.
fried dough balls. Sugar deep fried dough
What?
balls. Yes, I
What?
do. I don't want to get my microphone dirty, as you said. So we're gonna attempt to see if we can, if we can.
Oh, there it is.
I need
Dough
it to be a
balls,
little
brown
more
sugar dough balls.
brown sugar. These are really good. I bought these the other day. I said that's got to be so bad for you, but it's got to be so good for the soul.
And is it? Are they? Oh, they're
Hmm.
soft. Oh, so it's a donut hole basically, coated in
They
brown
have
sugar.
just enough crunch inside.
Okay.
But these are my new addiction. These are little ice cream bites. They're vanilla ice cream covered in
Oh,
hard chocolate. They're so
yeah.
good. I got them after overly indulging in the chocolate bar form.
Okay.
Just all my snacks are really bad for you. I never had this before. It's a lemon pie. So I felt like
Okay.
that was I need was my healthy
Were you
snack.
were you able to read the description, read the labels, or are there
No, I
English
just picked stuff
equivalents? You
randomly here. Yeah, so this is a chocolate vanilla roll. Some of them have English words. Like this drink, I have no idea what this is. It's delicious. I pick a brand new drink time I go. It's interesting. I thought I was low key an alcoholic because all these drinks had percentages on the front. I said, "Oh, were these alcohol?" I didn't know, right?
yeah,
Because they were at a
yeah.
convenience store. It's the fruit percentage. They display a percentage of the actual real
Fruit
fruit, and
content.
it confused me.
Okay.
This is my favorite type of ice cream bar. This is good. So it's like an ice cream sandwich almost, only it's a hard wafer with chocolate bars in it and vanilla ice cream separating it. This is one of the best ice creams they have here.
Okay.
And then I got these little bourbon chocolate on as well. And then I got another thing of these. These are so good. I like these because
I got them twice.
if you want to not eat a whole ice cream, but you just want like a sweet ice cream treat. Now I end up eating 2 to 4 of them at a time, so I may as well have just eaten the whole ice cream. But they're pretty good.
Wow. Wow.
But I think it's
So,
interesting. There's so many drinks in Japan, and unlike America, which is mainly soda, they have a lot of healthy drink options. There's only one thing Japan fails at. There's no sweet tea. Their sweetest tea,
it's
like
no sweet. No, yeah, you got to sweeten it yourself. But that's probably better for you. Um, there's a lot of teas out
not
here. A lot of
spiritually. It is not gold refined through the fire.
well, yeah, yeah. It's insulin. It's insulin resisting building.
But I did see, as I mentioned, I now have a church mom here,
Oh,
which kind of hurt. It was kind of like a friend zone situation. Like, there was a little tension there, and then she said that I'm her adopted from America, and it kind of crushed my heart. But no, she's really sweet. She doesn't speak English at all, and she speaks
wow,
Okinawan Japanese. So her dialect is different from regular Japanese. So not only is it hard enough to understand her, but now she has, I guess, an act of it, and she talks very
mm,
fast. And I just nod my head and say every time she says something, and I don't know what she's saying,
wow.
and it just says thank you, okay. every time, no matter what I say. But we've been hanging out because she's turning 50, and I want to go see a live sumo show, so I took her, and she was
Wow.
thrilled. One of the best things anyone's ever done for her birthday. She's a survivor of domestic, so we about that, and I was explaining to her my family situation. So, we're both filling a hole there, and so we just really connected over God and everything. And it's interesting because even though we can't understand each other's languages, when around the city and go to events, and we can look at each other and kind of express what we're feeling, and there's an understanding. So I think human connection goes. They say over 60% of expression is actually body language. It's why actually, if y'all check out my episode with Dr. Anthony Sillard, like statistical measures around divorce rates and arguments lasting longer or having more devastating effects over text compared to just phone calls or in person. And spoiler alert, texting, it was like 75% worse for divorce rates, for breakup, leading fights. But anyway, we went and saw sumo, and she was super excited. She was sending me clips of like sumo video games and sumo comedy all week. She's like, I'm so excited. And we went, and I thought it was about to be the most divine moment, because they said, we're going to pick someone from the crowd to go on stage and challenge the sumo wrestler. And so obviously I was like, Mr. Whiskey's got to be up there. You knew I had to be up there. But it's a lottery draw. So I got a number and she didn't get a number. And I was like, raise your hand. And she's like, oh no, I don't really want to go up there. I was like, well, I don't care. I do. I'll take your, you win. It'll be over. And they got a ticket for her. Guess what numbers they gave her? 50. She was turning 50. They gave her number 50. I said, oh, this is about to be the best birthday ever. But she didn't get picked. But it was so fun. 3 people got picked: a middle-aged man, a 9-year-old kid from Netherlands, and a teenage girl from America. And they put on fake sumo suits. And they challenged them. And the end of the stick, they threw him out, right away. All girls from LA were cheering him on, and he got thrown out right away. Well, the teenage girl, the guy just stood there, and she's pushing with her full force. Her face turned beet red. She was going to start bleeding from the nose. I mean, I've never seen a woman's face so red.
Trying to move this guy.
He was just like trying to move this guy, immovable object. Well, he starts pushing back, and they do their play fighting, and she started pushing him and he grabs her, and he just picked her up over his head and held her there in the sky, and he just like showed her off, like, yeah. Well, he throws her down thinking that she's out, but she landed on the soles of her feet, grabbed his leg and threw him backwards on one leg, and he fell and he lost. And everyone went crazy. When I crowd, he thought, see, sumo represents, you're supposed to have humility, and he's like, oh, it's a teenage girl, I'm not going to worry about it. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? There's a great sermon out there on my podcast called Scripture and Sumo Wrestling. What is it? Foot, just spiritual warfare. And it talks about all it takes is a little slip up to knock you off your feet, and you can be completely down if your footwork is terrible. And there's multiple passages of scripture that talk about the importance of footwork, of a stability,
foundation,
the feet of gospel peace.
Yeah.
And also, just when you stop training, if a sumo wrestler says, oh, I'm the highest rank, I'm going to stop training, a brand new guy who's dead can, throw the match. There's actually a term for that. So it was pretty cool. I did some sumo poses. We got to take pictures with them and everything. I was just ready to go up there. Or I really wanted her to go up there more than me, to be honest.
Yeah.
If I had been by myself. And I realized in my head, I didn't think they called people up to challenge a real sumo wrestler. If I knew, I would have said something, maybe slipped them some money, which it was already pretty expensive. I'm not going to lie. They doubled the prices from the last time I had looked, and I didn't look at the new prices because they were in yen. So I was like, this looks about the same.
The same. Twice as much.
It was $100 a ticket when it had been just $70. And so I got a receipt all of a sudden. I tried to use my credit card, and I said decline. Man, Why did the
Okay,
tickets? What happened? But you know what? That's on me. But
that's
it's all
on.
good. I'm taking her out again this weekend, and I'm taking her to an American restaurant because the American restaurants here do like the biggest birthday displays because they don't do big birthday stuff. But the American restaurants are like, oh, it's American.
Oh,
Bring you like, you know, a
everything's
plate-sized
big.
brownie and ice cream bigger than your head, and they'll scream and shout and do all kinds of stuff, the American style.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I joke
What?
about my American obesity in my comedy skit. You know, I've been working on
Oh,
my material.
yes. Are you ready? It's coming up. It's next week, isn't it?
Let's
August.
not say all that, Steve. I'm pretty nervous as it is.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
But
You're
yeah, I can share
good
some of
energy.
it with you, but a majority of it you won't be receptive to because I don't think you're the target audience. You know,
Okay.
really fan people who have consumed anime. Now, some of the dating in a foreign country mishap stories you would appreciate. That stuff I
There
think you
you
could.
go. There you go. So you've got how long are you on again for? Oh, I took a bite. That's the only way to
No,
keep Mr.
that was
That's
the symbol 1 hour.
that, oh, 1 hour. That
No,
was
not
the
1 minute,
that.
1 hour.
Okay, I thought he'd like wait for me to finish what's in my mouth. So that's the only way to get Mr. Whiskey to pause is to give him
The
a
brown sugar deep
a
fried
brown
dough
sugar.
balls. And they call us obese? What do you call this?
Well,
Deep
yeah,
brown.
they move around at least. I think their community is a
Yeah.
bit more active.
I'll give you a
But
sample. I bought flowers for this girl once, and I bought her yellow flowers because yellow in the world of flowers means friendship, right?
mm,
It doesn't in the world of bonnets and ribbons. So don't ever do that. But in the world of flower, yellow means more of a friendship thing. So I used yellow to surprise a woman and to keep her at bay, and it backfired because she fell in love with me when I bought her the flowers. I give
I didn't read the book
yellow
about
to
them being
twist a
yellow.
response. Right. She didn't. Obviously, it was in English only. I guess maybe it's an American thing, but that wasn't why she fell in love with me. She she goes, "This is a real story," and I integrate it into the comedy differently. But I hand her these yellow tulips to make clear to friends. How did you know sunflowers were my favorite? I love these. Sunflowers are my favorite flower. And I said, sunflowers are. She goes, yes. Ever since I was a little girl, I've loved sunflowers. And I was like, I don't think they're your favorite. And she goes, how are you going to tell me what my favorite flower? Because these aren't sunflowers. I don't think. She goes, well, they look like them. They're yellow and they have a brown center. And I was like, yes, that is true. But one of them is cylindrical and one of them is circular. One of them is like 7 feet tall. And this is like half a foot tall. But it's okay. See, I learned a lesson there. You don't have to get the right flowers. You don't have to get expensive flowers. Just get the flowers. If women just love
Yeah,
flowers. And I
that's
would know. I
that's
go
it
to Walmart and I get the on sale half dead ones for $3.68. And the tag every time.
every
Actually,
time.
last time I tried that, it went wrong. Here's what happened. I was in Japan when I was meeting this woman from church, a different woman, not the sumo woman, a different, not a church mom. Well, she could be. See, I
Okay.
met her and we spent the day together hanging out, and she's in all in all cap, and she's very lively and kawaii and all this stuff. And at the end of the day, she's like, just so you know, a bit of a deceiver. I'm not in my 20s like everyone thinks I am or like I act I am. I was like, oh. She goes, I'm actually 45. And I was just
Well,
like trick me. Never going to church again. Well, that's that youthful spirit. That's that youthful spirit. But
there you
anyway,
go.
I had stopped to buy her flowers, and they had this bouquet on sale for 600 yen, which is just $3, like $3 and change. But they were
Okay.
gorgeous. Dead Walmart flowers. These were like very pristine white and beige decorative flowers. These looked expensive. And I said, oh my goodness, someone must have some kind of bad business, and I'm taking these. And I go to the cashier, and the guy's like, oh. No, I'm sorry for your loss. I was like, well, yeah, she's 45, so it's a kind of a win for me if you knew about, my mom doesn't talk to me, but yeah, it can be a loss for some. It's a funeral. So I wouldn't say it's a lost cause in a funeral. I mean, that's a bit much, guy. He goes, no, no, no. These are flowers. You're buying funeral flowers. I'm sorry. And I was like, oh, no, no, no. These are just for a woman who lied to me. I didn't know they were funeral flowers. Apparently in Japan, they have specific flowers for funerals.
I can imagine that. Well, yeah, that's
And
where
then
that
I
was
had a beef
going.
with the shop owner. I said, if I die, I'm only worth $3 of flowers. Men never get flowers their whole life. The only time they get flowers is the day they die, and it's 600 yen on sale. I'm not even worth $5. I'm not even worth a Happy Meal at McDonald's. I'm from the value menu.
Well, maybe that's something you can write on your headstone. here lies
I
here
was
lies
only
Mr.
worth 600
Whiskey.
yen,
Here lies Mr. Whiskey from the
less than
taken from the
a
value
can of
menu.
soda, a prostitute, or a cheeseburger. I mean, that's ridiculous.
There you go. You threw a prostitute in the middle of that meal.
You can get one for 600 yen, but then you have to pay, about 20,000 yen on a test. So it kind of, yeah. I mean, you'll get your deep
is
fried brown sugar
definitely
dough balls played with, but you
they might. Don't be testing out your material on this on my at my expense here, right?
Speaking of, Coach, right? What's your weekly joke? You had 2 weeks to research since you had killed Reese.
Oh, you know what?
I actually bought you funeral
I
flowers for
had
your
one.
Restream
I
service.
had one. I had one. Um, I don't know. Um,
You forgot it.
there was like, yeah, there was one. There was one. There was one about there's one about a skeleton. There's one about a skeleton. Um, but I don't know. But I don't want to don't want to make any bones about it. So there you go. There you go.
That was worth 600 yen of bones.
That was
So I got
probably
a
worth.
bone joke for you. So God was walking Adam. It's not good for man to be alone. I'm gonna make you a helper, and she's gonna cook and clean and never argue with you. She's gonna let you watch sports every Sunday in peace, and whatever you want. She's gonna be the perfect helper. And Adam goes, great, but God says it's gonna be an arm and a leg. So Adam says, what can I get for a rib? And now that's why we have the women we have today.
God wanted the leg and Adam offered a rib.
Yeah.
That's cold. And we have great women today, by the way. So he took them. He took. He took him. He took a bone from Adam's side because he wants the woman to be beside the man. Not.
And from what
Not.
I've seen, it's the only bone in the body that regenerates.
Oh, really? The floating rib. Very interesting.
Someone will have to fact check me on that.
You're making me mouth lonely. There's a Japanese word for that, mouth lonely.
That was what she was trying to say. Oh man, I study more. The funeral flowers work, if you want to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll
knocking
give
back
you a
those
funny.
dough
I'll give you a
balls.
funny about AI. And then we'll shift into a serious AI discussion. So, I using to translate, but Google the translate app that's on my phone automatically is terrible. It's very literal, and so is the one on your computer. Like, you know how you have a calendar that says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Well, if the computer shorthands it to Wednesday, they do the same thing in Japanese. Google will translate it to say like fire, earth, wind, rain, dirt for the calendar dates because it's translating the shorthand, not the actual word. ChatGPT and other AIs have a more social awareness around stuff. So this is a calendar. These are shorthand. I'm going to translate the calendar words. And so it can read contextual clues. I find it much better. What she's saying is a very Japanese specific phrase from her age range that has this cultural context. Therefore, it means this. Whereas if a young person said it, it means this. So I do find ChatGPT very helpful for language translation. However, when the 50-year-old was typing in stuff in Japanese, there was time ChatGPT me in Japanese with emojis added. So that didn't really help me at all. There are just times where it would just decide to suddenly have a moment where it's like, all right, I need to translate this Japanese into Japanese, adds emojis to it. Not very helpful.
That's crazy. I was just looking at the word that word for mouth only. It is, I'm going to butcher the word, kuchi sabishi. Kuchi sabishi.
And that explains a lot, because if you look at the root word, you understand to be lonely.
I know. What's the
like
root
a Latin
word?
Root word.
It literally means lonely mouth. Sabishi is lonely, and kuchi is mouth. So kuchi sabishi. Am I saying it right? I'm sort of asking you. I don't know. I don't know if
I
you're
don't
the
know.
person. You're the Japanese person.
Look at this pair.
Your mouth. That is okay. That is the sound bite of the day.
Look,
right there.
I got twins. I got two sets. I got two sets of twin boys.
Twofer. Yeah. You got a twofer.
2 for 1.
There you go. There you go.
I eat my ice cream. I think my ice cream melted, so I'm worried about it. Maybe I'll have my drops.
There you go. There you go. You mentioned
a more serious AI discussion.
Yeah. Well, actually, I'll share something that's happening in Jamaica right now. Is that I feel like it's a bit late to the party, but they're having local governments are having discussions about regulating internet, I guess, computer use or internet access for minors. And it's one of those news items that sounds, it's very sound bitey, but doesn't actually explain what they're proposing. You can't. I mean, it's not they say it's not an outright ban.
Age verification, and even if you make age verification, people have been getting fake IDs or getting access from an older sibling or parent for generations, right? It's the same thing happening to the pornography websites in America. Now, I'm very anti-pornography. I've never consumed it. I don't think our children at 8 and 9 years old should be consuming it. But the same thing, my friend and I got into a big fight about this. Actually, one of my friends and I got into a big disagreement. He said that should not do it, because he said by restricting the well-structured and actual more safe websites, the knockoff websites that aren't going to follow age verification are basically, his argument was children will be pushed towards more shady websites, and there will be consequences like computer hacking, virus. That's the consequences of their actions because they don't want to follow regulations. And he and I got into a big debate about it. I got my ice cream. Right.
Ice cream. There you go. That is it. That is interesting. Is it cold?
It was completely liquid inside.
Oh, he just cracked it open. It's
like the bursting boba.
Oh, okay. One boba at a time. One ball at a time.
I'm making them.
There you go. But yes, that is interesting in terms of where does the restriction live, and who is responsible for enforcing it, and what are the consequences for not following regulations? Because that's the age-old problem, is that you say don't do something, but if there's no teeth behind the restriction, then you're paying. It's a slip service, or like you said, there's people go around it, and then now you open it up to more um, potentially bad players because they'll do an end
Right.
around. But yeah, that was it. It was interesting, that discussion coming up. I think I mentioned the book before, the Anxious Generation, Jonathan Haidt. Yeah, and just very interesting how he used analysis of behaviors and attitudes to sort of they all kind of coalesced, or they pointed to the outbreak of front-facing cameras. The iPhone. I forgot which iPhone it was. 2000. It was in 22. Was it 2012? 2010 maybe. And it led to a massive increase in like dysmorphia, body dysmorphia, people having more mental conditions around
Well, it's
their
true. I
social
mean,
media consumption.
I've done episodes on this, and if you follow suicide rates in children with social media, and they both follow each other, and it's actually people call it correlation. It's actually causation, to be honest, and that actually segues into what I was going to bring up, which is, check this out.
Oh my goodness!
I came across Japan's national suicide gone news, but with that decline, children's suicide is going up. So even though the national average is going down, the children's suicide rates are going up. Specifically this time of year, I'm about to drop a whole episode on it because it's most prevalent this time of year when return. Now, historically, and because of stereotyping, people have accredited academic pressure to the contributing factor. Japan is for a pressuring school system and work environment. A lot of animes and other Japanese commentary are about overworked salarymen, people sleeping on the trains, people being tired, people sleeping at the office overnight. Same with academic pressure, the exam really being a breaking point for people. However, you look at the research, there's a lot of other stuff, family issues, everything that's going on besides that. And sometimes this is kind of like the military, where we get so pinhole focused on combat that we don't look at all the other factors that go into suicide rate. Military portion of military suicides, again, they are in more dire need than military members, because they're 100%. I recognize that added layer. However, most military members are never combat deployed, and so you have to look at all those people committing suicide. What are the factors? Well, family, relationships, finances. The biggest thing actually is that I said recently in a couple episodes, we should mandate when you graduate high school. We talk about preparing our young adult for the adult world, whether they go military, college, entrepreneurial route, work world. Why do we say, hey, you need to know how to do taxes, you need to know how to live life, but we don't say, hey, are you taking baggage and childhood trauma into the next life? What most people are, especially in the military, especially civilian side college. I've met very few people who didn't have inner child work done, where they had these wounds from their childhood, their teenage years, especially high school, and they just go out into the world with them. And parents don't do a job, unfortunately. And it's not that they don't try. Sometimes it can be difficult. Some people come from households where the parents are the problem. I know someone, right? So sometimes you need help, and sometimes you don't have access to teachers. Guidance counselors are overworked. They've got one guidance counselor for 30 students per grade or whatever. What is Japan's solution? Well, Japan has just proposed, and this is controversy. I've already talked to some people here in Japan about it because it's interesting. They're going to use like AI chat bots. So essentially, AI is going to be used. How or why these children are going to interact with the AI if it's going to be part of the school computers, if it's going to be an app. I have to research it a lot further. It's in the pretty new phase. They're talking about if the AI picks up on anything, it's going to flag a student as potentially suicidal or having a mental health issue. Right? They're talking about implementing AI into it. Now, a lot of people are upset about this, and a lot of people are excited about it. Some I look at is a lot of children are more trusting of an AI than real people. They actually confide more into an AI than their parents.
Yeah.
ChatGPT knows more about some people than their own partner does, right? So
Yeah.
I think it may be effective, especially if the AI, I'm going to different AI, country made, I can't remember if it was Sweden, Switzerland, Netherlands, in that area, a country made an AI Jesus Christ, and people confessed to it. And it was based off of biblical input. And the experiment wasn't to make Christ, but to see if AI presents itself as a figure or someone that is historically trusted or well respected,
Yes.
how would people respond? If an AI
Yeah.
was coached right, would people tell it more whiskey, right? So it
Yeah.
looked at identity in AI and trust. So if in Japan, knowing, well, this I guess is a stereotype, but if little icon, which is a cute, very common here to make it, or kawaii, especially for the women, maybe they might do it by gender. They might have, like, I don't know, Buzz Lightyear for men and Jessie, the cowgirl, for women, right? They might genderfy even to build another level of trust.
Trust. Yeah.
Some kids get a female guidance counselor and they don't want to talk to a woman about their boy problems, or a woman doesn't want to talk to a guy about their woman problems. They whatever dog. They might make it like Hello Kitty, right? So I think it's interesting in that degree. But what one of the Japanese locals I talked to about this said, he said, this really caught me off guard. He said Americans are more distrusting of AI. He goes, from my personal experience here in Japan, he goes, Japanese people will believe whatever it tells it. And I said, buddy, I don't know what Americans you're talking to, because I know plenty of Americans that just believe the first thing AI says.
Yes.
I said, you must have
Even
had
with
a
the
good,
disclaimer.
I know I'm a genius, man, but you don't represent America.
Yeah, I was, and it's funny you say that about AI models being built to engender trust. I was thinking about this the other day, and just not lamenting, thinking on the fact that when we have smart devices, we feel that our connection with a smart device makes us smarter. Whereby if we are surrounded by smart people, we'd see that connection with smart people making us feel less smart, not necessarily dumb, but less smart. We would take on, I would take on a new phone, a new smartphone, and I think I'm so smart because I've got the latest smartphone. But I wouldn't necessarily apply that smarts to meeting somebody who is really intelligent or smart in their area, and then sort of say, I'm smart because I've got smart people around me. You'd feel more threatened by having smart people around you than you would having smart devices around you. That's probably a better way to say it.
Yes. Anytime a new guy shows up to Bible study and he can quote more memorized scripture, it's intimidation. It's intimidation.
Well, you're a natural born competitor, right? I
Yeah, but
tell you.
I agree. A lot of people on my podcast have said is that they prefer human coaching or smart people around them, not for knowledge, but for accountability, because they're saying, AI is too agreeable. And
Yes,
you can try
sycophantic.
and make it disagreeable, but it does naturally want to. And the question is, when it comes to these topics in particular, suicide, family issues, there's a discernment of emotion. And can an AI discern as much? Or will it say, hey, actually, no, this kid's totally fine, and then the kid commits suicide? Who's going to hold the AI accountable?
Yeah.
Or what school's at fault? The school didn't know, all the information went to an AI that they don't see. They don't access it unless it gets flagged. So there's a lot of layers to this. Whereas, I've stopped suicides before. Some of them I had to go take to medical help. Some of them I just stopped myself through discernment and conversation. Very navigate. And sometimes it seems like AI is more human than us. And then there's times where it seems like it doesn't understand it at all.
Yeah, yeah. I can see from one side the collection of data points that lead to a trend. So, for example, the ability to track, school performance, attendance, punctuality,
If
um,
there's a divorce
interact
mention, a bully
into,
mention,
yes, it will be able to keep that thread and build some form of analysis or learning throughout the thread, which is a difficult thing for people. People are getting flashpoints. A guidance counselor may only interact with a child, or student for a certain amount of time in a certain context, and not be privy to other things that they're doing. So, in that respect, it's not as it's information that the counselor's information isn't as rich or as broad as potentially a
right.
machine a machine
Or what if
learning
it
would
glitches?
be.
What if a kid says, I'm going to harm myself, and it just glitches and says, don't do that, but it forgets to flag the staff, right? I mean, there's potential. But on the
Well,
other side,
should it flag it? Should
you
it flag it with one mention, or should it wait for a trend?
right. That's the thing too. That goes back to discernment because,
Mm,
and I think it's gonna have the same issue that I do. I mean, I had friends call me. I left the military. Hey, Mr. Whiskey, I've actually been suicidal for months, on the edge of killing myself every day. I'm only telling you now that you're out because you're not a, this guy laughed, smiled, had good grades, had a partner, did his job well. You would have never known. I
mm,
mean, and I guess what they're looking for is, are you going to tell the AI something you're not going to tell your peers?
yeah,
But also, other question, so now the system has all this information on our children. Where is that going? To Epstein?
yeah.
Like, we don't know where all that where
Stop.
is it going? Right? That's a legitimate concern. This knows everything about my
Yeah,
kid now.
yes,
Now they're going to be
yeah. It's
profiled before they
grooming.
even apply for a job.
Yeah, it's a grooming algorithm. So yeah, going to the Tates. But
At
yeah,
this
we're
rate,
getting
should the AI also just like determine their careers? This is gonna, if it gets to the point soon enough or young enough, you could be like, have you read The World? Where
say
at
that again.
birth, a baby, it's a book called Brave New World. And
Mm-hmm.
at birth, the
I'm
babies are put into different classes to
Yeah,
determine if they're going to be more athletic. Some of them are
yeah,
spun and given brain damage, so they're stupid. Some of them are made poor. Some of them are made rich. And could an AI set us up if AIs are put into our life early enough? Starting with an iPad when you're so the profile on us our entire life now, which I'm sure they already had that on you and me, even from the first time you ever sent an email on your computer was
yeah,
the size of a television. But
yes.
I
AOL,
mean, this
baby.
makes it
American Online.
right. I mean, this making it a layer deeper, a step further.
Yeah.
But if it stops or helps the suicide rate of children, where do we call the balance? Where do we call the risk versus reward?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. That's true. You're rewarding yourself with that ice cream sandwich there. You're chewing that.
It's so good.
I thought
It's
that's
very melted. It's like I'm trying, like it's making
yeah,
a mess. Like if you can,
yeah,
where is it?
yeah.
I got it on my
Yeah,
arm
you
and
got it on
everything.
there. All right, there you
That's
go.
ice
There
cream.
you
It's
go.
not anything AI. Don't flag.
Yeah, no.
It's,
but
I remember one time
yeah.
I got I was on a telehealth appointment. talking about, being poisoned and exposed to stuff that you shouldn't be. And I couldn't find a shirt. So I real quick threw on a shirt, and I had been the manager of an ice cream store at the time. And there was all old stained chocolate ice cream on my sleeve while I was talking. And he thought it was all blood all over my arm. So I'm calling the cop. You need help. There's blood all over your arm. I was like, no, it's chocolate ice cream.
That's good.
And that wasn't my concern. My concern, oh my God, I was thinking he might think I had a wipe with my sleeve. I ran out of toilet paper. That was my fear. I'd rather someone think there's blood all over my arm than think, oh, this guy, poop. He had a rough day. He ran out of toilet paper, and he's in America. There's no bidets, so.
Well, there you go. Well, you see, I guess that's the danger of the learning algorithm, picking up on things and misconstruing them. Doesn't know that you worked at an ice cream store, or maybe it does know you worked at an ice cream store, and it knows that it makes the link that stain on your shirt is probably from your occupation of an ice cream store manager,
but
versus
it was
you
blood.
being at risk.
But what if I was at risk and ice cream? See, this is the issue.
Right. And the thing is that
what if I tell it I'm going to kill myself, and it sends me back the same message? Oh, well, if you're going to kill yourself, make sure you do it in a clean, quiet place. What if it supports me? So what if it just says, great job with a smiley face emoji?
Right.
ChatGPT, well, I mean, I told mine to use emojis to be expressive. So, it'll send like the little knife and blood emoji, because it does that stuff whenever I do stuff. It sends emojis like that. So
just trying to be interesting. That's crazy.
Right.
Dr. Carl is joining us.
Does AI understand our sonder?
Would AI understand the term sonder? Because yes, well, that's interesting. Hey, Dr. Carla. We've probably got a lag here, so we'll talk slow. Yeah, you move. It's moving a bit bitty. Can you hear us? All right, good. Speak so I can get an idea of the delay that we're facing here. Yeah. You muted yourself. You're muted. You muted yourself. So
what happened?
There you go. Oh,
okay.
There you go. You're unmuted. Good to see you, Carla. How are you?
Fine. A little sleepy, a little busy, but it's all good.
Oh, good. Yes, you have been. You have been busy. I can see not as busy as Mr. here. Not as busy as Mr. Whiskey on that ice cream sandwich.
Yeah, and he didn't offer anybody, and he just he's just sitting there eating, unbothered. Didn't offer a thing. That's okay.
I offered Steve Wright something that he could have came and got my pair of brown sugar dough bites anytime he wanted. I told him I had an extra bedroom, and he
said, "No way."
I'm gonna laminate those. I'm gonna keep those.
There is no way I'm going over there to eat your dough bite, to eat your dough ball.
And mine would be caramel sugar, not
caramel sugar, not brown sugar.
For anyone listening, not watching, I just want to clarify.
I hope you never cease to amaze me, Mr. Whiskey.
Well, I hope you were here the whole time I was talking about suicide prevention in children, and not just when I had the pair of brown sugar in my pants.
I literally.
This is like Goggins said. This is like when David Goggins said, "You want to judge me off a 45-second clip you saw, but you never did an investment into any other part of my life. I got the receipts right here."
I have invested into a lot of your life. The receipts would be like this. I would still be scrolling and pulling them up. got lots.
There you go. There you go. Well, good to it's good it's good to see you. I was there was what were you you had some I had some stuff on your socials recently. What you been what's been keeping you busy?
Let's see. I will start with vote for me first, but this time not for office. This time for uh, what is it? Next level? No, that's next level CEO. So you don't need to vote for me for that. Runway star, the next runway
Ooh.
star. And before Mr. Whiskey says something smart, because he's like the little brother that you always have. See, I know what he's thinking. We're here.
No,
Before he
you
says
are a
something
runway
smart,
star. You
well,
get
thank you.
wine served at your foot. So perfect runway material right there. I mean,
Well,
you're getting that
thank
high
you.
quality stuff. You're like Esther in the Persian Median Kingdom getting that beauty treatment.
That's
I
right.
mean, 6
I
months
will receive. I
of
receive
oils and
that.
fragrances, 6 months of the good stuff. I mean, yeah.
I receive all of that, my little brother from another mother. But yes, vote for me for free.
My mother's
Vote for
now
me for free because
Okinawan woman.
remember this: vote for me for free, and anybody who's listening, because it's not just about fulfilling a dream that I put to the side and that had been deferred, but it's letting people know that now it doesn't matter what size you are, it doesn't
Mm.
matter what physical challenges you have, because I entered the contest knowing that I just had my knee reconstructed. So people are probably like,
Wow.
why is she trying to be the next runway star? She can't even
You
walk.
hit it with the stanky leg dance move, you know? That they're
Yeah,
gonna be thinking you out there dancing, yeah.
I do the stanky leg. Okay,
You're
that
like,
works.
this ain't moonwalking. This is the meteorite. You know, we coming
There
in
we
hot.
go. Or I might
Uh-huh.
moonwalk down on one leg. Or as Mr. Les said yesterday to me, I can get on my good foot. So I can
That's
do that.
right.
So
Very
yes, it
good.
doesn't
All
matter.
right.
Just do it anyway. We only live
All right.
once. Do it anyway.
Dr.
Share the
Hooker, I gotta
link.
ask you a question about that voting, if you
Uh-oh.
don't mind.
Go ahead. Would you like to vote more times than one? Sure,
Did
Mr. Whiskey.
you?
You can
No.
do that.
My question is, did you vote for me to speak at Podcast Movement New
Now, when was this?
Because I DM'd you personally, I believe, or maybe I didn't. Maybe I was like, no, she
No, you
wouldn't
did
vote for
not.
me.
I
Let me
will
see.
pull up. I
I'm
will
gonna
pull
check.
my phone out on the air.
I'm pulling up Facebook right now. I gotta check.
My phone with no protection on it right now because you know I would vote.
No, but there you go. There you go.
How do I
So
vote? Sure,
runway.
I don't mind at all. Okay, it says on July 8th, you asked me clarification about voting, and you read on July 8th at 11:40 a.m.
He's making this up.
What do you mean? I'm reading it right now.
I believe you right now
Chat. How
because
is it? Can I share? I'm going to share my screen.
Number one, you're comedian number one, Mr. Number two. You can. I don't know what you're looking at. You might just be looking at your wife, future wife, going, I'm just gonna make this up, and she's probably like, you're not even looking at your screen. But I'll pull mine up too now. So
Right here. Can you see? Can you move it to the corner? How do you?
That's your screen. That's the portion of your screen that's on there.
I need the
Where
text messages.
I see Steve's
oh well you
screen.
got you,
Are
no
you trying
that's
to call
not
me
that's
out?
not
Steve, I need you to scroll it over.
I can't scroll it over. I can maximize you on the page here.
because
Oh,
it's
there
no
you go.
telling what
Okay,
Right there,
he's really
right
reading.
there. What does that say?
there it goes.
What does it say? Go ahead.
Is there a different
Sure.
Carla Hooker that I'm talking to? I
No,
could be
that's me.
mistaken.
I see my picture in the bubble. That's all I can see. I can't see the whole thing. So this would be like being in court and not being able to see and view all the evidence.
I can see everything. That's
I
interesting
cannot
that
from North Carolina. I don't see everything.
There's a link on the
That's
post.
interesting
There's a
'cause
link on the
it's
post that you will take you to the
Okay, there it is.
voting website. So you sent that,
And then to
yeah.
find my
So
then to find
yes.
okay. And then what did I say after that? I said,
Nothing.
sure, I
That's
don't
the
mind at
bottom of
all.
So did you vote? Is all I want to know.
I don't remember.
You know what? It's fine.
Do
I'm
you
the
know how
bigger
many did a
person. I
day?
will be the bigger person.
Yeah, I don't
I will
remember.
be the
If I
bigger
remembered, I
person.
would say yes. I definitely voted for you. If I said sure, then normally I vote for people. I don't tell somebody I'm going to
I
do
know.
something and they don't
I'm just
do it.
giving you a hard time. I'll vote for
I
you. I'll
know.
vote for you more than once.
Oh,
I have 5 Google accounts for you on 5 different Google accounts. I'll vote. I
What?
voted for
No,
myself.
I don't want you to cheat. I don't want you to cheat and have other people cheating. I want it to just be organic and real.
yes, yeah,
You
and
said I
Like
real,
could vote
and
more
it
real.
than
needs
once.
to
Do
be.
you want me to vote more than once or no?
You. Well, I thought you're big money grip. I thought you were going to say let me just go ahead and do 1,000 votes for her, and who will match me. I thought you were going to say something like that. I was just giving an
Oh,
example.
I'll vote
You're,
1,000 times if Steve promises to match me, like how he got a matching tattoo with. Anyway,
What you are? Yeah, you are a font of knowledge, Mister Whiskey. You're just a selective AI. You are.
it's this.
it's that hat.
Eh,
It's this.
It's that
I,
hat. It's that
That
drinking
hat is
this
drinking.
human.
maybe it's cocaine. Is that cocaine on the label? Right
No,
there.
no, that's a berry.
No.
That's a
One of the
berry.
cherries or
Well,
something.
obviously, Coach, right? I'm talking about right there, the
Oh,
cocaine, the
that
white powder.
no, that's cane sugar or
No,
something.
that's steam.
In that,
Yes, or steam or
that
something. I can't see that. I don't have my reading
yeah,
glasses on.
yeah, yeah.
It looks like
But
steam
there
coming
you
out of the
go.
cup. I don't know.
It's not
So,
brown sugar. If you want brown
so
sugar,
it's coming back to those.
I
So
didn't make those.
before,
I did not
before,
make those. Full
no,
disclosure.
but you're definitely milking them. That's what you. If they could be milked,
Yes,
you're milking them.
Steve,
I'm putting
It's a
that
him in
choice of
timeout.
words. I'm not trying to milk them. In fact, they actually came with this thing to keep them fresh.
There you go.
So if they can keep these fresh, you already know what I'm gonna do later. Change my underwear as often.
Silica gel. Yeah, put silica gel in your.
In
Yeah,
your food.
keeps the
Silica
moisture out.
gel. I'm doing swell.
There you go.
Freestyle. I
We
told you if you throw words
we
at me,
had
I'll
a
freestyle.
we had a word. We shared a word today. I'm gonna finish with this with what we started with. It was something thoughtful and insightful, and it's the word sonder, and it's from the Dictionary of Obscure Sorrows. A really interesting book of words that have been made up for things that we don't have a word for. And this is my word of the week. I might do this as a regular spot. And the word sonder is the realization that each random passerby is a character in their own story, living life just as vivid and complex as our own, while we are just an extra in the background. They're extras to our story, just like we are extras to theirs. And that realization that people are the main character in their life, living just as vivid and complex as we are, leads to more compassion and that sense of awareness. And we're all in spaces where we interact with people, and just leaning into the fact that people do have vivid and complex lives is definitely important. And Mr. Whiskey very rightly said, road rage is one of those things where we sort of put that to the side, the consideration of others, and
I'm gonna go
we go
deep.
back
I'm
to
gonna preach. The Holy Spirit's about to talk through my BPE. Are you ready, Steve?
go
What
for it.
happens? What happens when we make someone else the main character of our life instead of ourselves? And I'm just gonna leave it with that question because I've done that
Ooh,
before. When we put someone else as the main character in our own story, make ourselves an extra, what happens to our health, our finances, both mentally and physically? I'm talking about codependency even. Ooh,
yeah,
I got a couple episodes out on that. So yeah, I think that's important too. But why
yes.
make anyone the main character when we should just make our AI the main character, and then we don't have to worry about anything because it knows
Our
everything
second,
and
yeah,
doesn't need to worry about anything.
yes, the second brain becoming the first brain. Ouch. That's definitely That's that's a dystopian concept in the making. But well, don't worry. The AI bubble is creaking, and we'll see where it's going to go in the next decade. I think it's gonna be a shift. We're gonna get humanistic again. The pendulum is swinging too hard in
I
one
don't know,
direction. It's
Steve. They over
gonna
here
come back.
on the side of the world I'm in right now, they've got robots that can grow a human baby inside of them that they've been prototyping. It's some scary stuff over here.
Okay, you'd have to send me some content on that one. That's a discussion for another week.
It could have been an AI generated post for all I know. I don't know anymore.
Oh.
It's getting hard to tell. Sometimes I think you're AI, Steve. Sometimes it's hard to tell.
Thank you.
I don't think
Thank
an
you.
AI could script me. So that's why, but you're a little more AI like sometimes, you know.
That's interesting. I wanted to close because we're over the hour, but you've just dropped a seed that I really want to address with a question out there. Is that if we are consuming so much AI content, is are we learning from the model, or is the model learning from us? Because if we end up speaking like ChatGPT or Claude, then and we speak to it based on how it speaks to us. Are we now becoming trying to put AI in a human form? I take a script written from a learning model, I say it word for word. Now, is that me, or is that Claude or ChatGPT? And
Well,
does it matter, or where does it matter? You mentioned meeting people in real life versus texting. Most people have relationship issues if they're communicating solely by text, because it's a different medium, and you lose all of the other nuances, the micro expressions, the proximity, touch, and all the other non-verbal cues you lose in a text. So we get that. So where does AI can't do that? AI is missing the non-verbal cues, and I don't know if a robot will ever get them.
I might have to counter that to a little bit. So, I text my church mom solely through ChatGPT because it needs to translate, because
Mm.
I'm speaking enough Okinawan Japanese to communicate with her. And until I give it very strict commands to translate verbatim what I'm saying, it kept trying to change my personality to cater more to her as what it thought would best flatter her versus what I wanted to say. Time who only speak Japanese, it says, "Hey, I think you're coming off a little harsh, and you should say this a little more softly." Or it tries to change my personality. And same with business. If there's a business thing, it's like, "I think you should respond to this person this way." And I said, "No, actually, I'm going to tell them to take a stop sign and shove." So because there are certain times, and it's very interesting. Now, so you have to monitor it, because it was trying to change, because I can't read the Japanese it's sending. So I had to give it very strict guidelines in some to another app to translate. Now, some people won't. They'll just send whatever it sends. I will edit it, and I will make sure that it is my idea. Same with if I get sermon notes or I'm researching stuff, it'll try to build my whole sermon. I'm not going to read it word for word, right? Even if it says written in the style with that flair of Southern BP, I'm not going to read it verbatim. There has to be the spirit talking through me through certain moments. There has to be stuff that I still build upon. It's great to break down Greek words, Hebrew words, other stuff, but there are some people who are reading just soul scripts. Like you said, I think when it's word for word, that is bad. But you can still customize it. I think what you're asking is going to be really important of the younger generations. You picks up on our style and says, "Hey, I'm going to write this in the style of Steve Wright or Mr. Whiskey," because we already have our own developed styles. You're asking children who are exposed to AI, which goes back to what we were saying earlier. it's going to have more of an influence on them. You and I are more foreign people. What about the vulnerability of the user? That's going to really matter.
Yeah, that is interesting. When a technology is all you know, versus a technology was developed as you grow, right? You know, we're all well, certainly me and Dr. Hooker are a generation earlier that saw this come into fruition, as opposed to the Gen Alphas now that don't know anything else other than high speed, always on, 24/7, smart devices.
And it's all
that
conformity.
was a cartoon for us back when we were younger. The Jetsons lifestyle was a cartoon, not real life. Right.
And it's about conformity.
It was just a book. It wasn't real life.
Yes.
And what I mean is, so the thing is, I talked in an episode about children building sportsmanship and place conflict resolution through peer groups. With so much online education and AI, it doesn't matter how much the AI disagrees with me. It'll do what I want. If I say, hey, send the text this way or write the document this way, it's ultimately going to say, I disagree. I'm going to do what you want. In real life, if an IT guy is trying to troubleshoot a computer and I say, hey, we're going to restart it this way, and he's saying, no, that's going to kill the system, and it needs both of our permission to do so, we're at a standstill. Whereas if Coach Wright was an AI, okay, kill the system, I guess. So it's teaching people to be more in critical thinking and workplace resolution. Just like when you gave everyone a participation prize, when they shifted sports into everyone is a winner, that's what AI is kind of like the now virtual embodiment of that. And So I think you're losing important identity.
There's an irony that these are large learning models that learn from masses of data acquired through millions of people. I mean, literally, or even billions of people. Their information is being aggregated and collated and aggregated and worked on, analyzed as a collective group.
I have this live streamed and transcribed right now into my AI. It's being transcribed right now.
There you go. But my point is that you can have 100 people in a community using AI, and AI knows everything about those 100 people, and it condenses, collates the information. But those 100 people don't know anything about the other 99. So they are only experiencing the other 99 through the lens of the learning model that collected all the information. And it sounds like your neighbor, but it's not your neighbor, because you don't know your neighbor. I mean, we did the parable of the Good Samaritan. We talked about it this week in a lesson. And the question is, who is my neighbor? And if you make AI your neighbor because that's the one you talk to versus the person next door, and having that connection, then you are missing a link. You're missing a vital link. Even if we all talk to AI, if we don't talk to each other, if we use it as a substitute for talking to each other, then we are subjugated. We're given too much power, and we're subjugating judgment and discernment to something that has got all of our collective interests in mind, but we don't even know each other. And that's sad, the fact that I would speak to AI before speaking to Carla or Mr. Whiskey.
Yeah, especially with dating, because a lot of are to do their dating. They put all their text in and they text an AI response. And, the woman saying, wow, you're so thoughtful. You remember that my favorite flowers were sunflowers. But no, the AI has it logged, and you said you're going out on a date, and AI said, hey, you should get her sunflowers.
You can tell. At least I can tell when it's genuine and when it's not. I usually ask questions, and I don't care if they put it in an AI. I can tell if it's coming from the heart or not. and
Yeah.
but I can spot that BS a mile away, and it's like
Well,
get lost.
but
and
you're a
block.
grown woman, and I say that just young, vulnerable women who have been in toxic
Well, that's
relationships
true.
who are going to latch on to this because they're like, oh my goodness, no guy's ever bought me flowers before. Sunflower tulips, they're amazing. And it's stuff like, wow, he's saying the exact words I need, because AI can say, hey, this woman shared that she was a victim of domestic violence.
Right.
I'm excluding all these words from your conversations because these could trigger her. And sometimes AI.
Oh, he froze.
We lose him.
Ah,
Right in the middle of the
that's
wow.
He's probably munching on those brown sugar dough balls.
Yes.
Mr. Whiskey, you know what? I guess that's the prompt there to leave them wanting more. Final comments, final thoughts, Dr. Hooker. We'll vote for you on the runway.
Okay.
Send the link, share the link. I'm definitely going to
will.
vote for you on taking that runway,
Thank you.
making that dream real.
Making it real and representing for sickle cell warriors, thalassemia thrivers, and anybody who has put a dream to the side and it's been deferred.
Yes.
It can be reignited at any time.
Yes.
So thank you.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Sometimes we've got to get ourselves out of the way, and we can be too easy. We can be too harsh on ourselves sometimes. So definitely gonna give you the vote for that. Well, thank you for jumping in. It's great to see you as always. Always coming back in to say goodbye. So look, see if he's
Skynet didn't like what I said. Skynet tried to kick me off the program. The AI got mad. The AIs are taking over. The AIs are making AIs. They're kicking us out of the restream.
No, that was the guys. That was the guys club of scammers who use AI to date and scam. Right. They zapped you off. So go ahead.
They zapped you. So yes, yeah, it tweaks the lamp
to have a good date. 1 and 2.
You got jokes. That's on that note. So Mr. Whiskey, are you?
Well, Carlos is a joke. Per our everyone drops a joke at the restream. They have 1 week or whatever time they're gone to prepare. Surely Carla has prepared a joke for us.
Well, that was a joke. You just made me laugh. So
you need to make us laugh.
I need to make you all laugh. I make you smile instead.
There you go. That's no. She's on point. She's on point. I think Mr. Whiskey's just looking for learning the learning model, the large language model to build up his repertoire.
A comedy large learning model, and I need to pick up all the sources and materials I can.
Oh, you can.
Are you right? He had me hyped today. He made it sound like he had a really big joke, and then
I made the one about the skeleton and no bones. There's another one.
That joke was like the portion of the Bible in Ezekiel where God's like, hey, I'm going to make these dry bones come alive again. Bones. He must have not told you that because it didn't happen today with your bones, Joe. They're still in the ground.
It's still in the ground dry.
A crushed spirit is bad for your health, but a cheerful word is like medicine. I've got dry bones and a crushed spirit, but it's okay.
Oh, well, you got ice cream to cover that. You got a multitude of vices to cover that. So, what was I going to say? Are you performing? Are you performing before we meet next week?
Wait, let me show you the coolest thing in the world.
Oh my goodness! He's got a He's got a live stand-up gig in. Oh,
my 1 hour comedy show. There's posters around town of me, and people see me in my cowboy hat and stuff. They're like, "You're the guy from the poster." I'm like, Yes. And, they don't know anything. So I just tell them I'm like a super famous American comedian. And they're like, oh, my goodness. And it's only 3,000 yen online ticket to see you, which sounds like a lot. It's not a lot of money.
Put it up in front of your face. So in front of your face, cover your face. There you go. Oh, Mr. Whiskey in that. Oh yeah,
I'm super
styling.
excited.
Please listen
That
to me.
time I
I'm
got
going to
reincarnated
say
in
that.
Japan as a cowboy and had to perform comedy to save the world. Best title for a well, it was going to be the Cowboy Samurai
What
comedy
date?
show, but
What
August
date
8th.
is that?
So I think we'll
August
meet
8th. Okay.
once.
We'll
We'll
meet
meet
next week.
twice more before then, I think.
No, once
I
more.
hope. I'll need another thing of brown sugar cinnamon bites. Oh
Yeah.
man, it's way
Next,
sooner than I thought. I mean,
yeah,
this
next
is an
week's the 5th.
hour. I mean, I've never performed for an hour, so
You
it's
just
a
You
did.
lot.
You've
perform
been
on
on for
here
an
all
hour.
That's
You've been on
true.
with me for an hour, so
But
you're
you
Great.
fine.
both speak English in addition to, well, Steve doesn't really speak another language, you know. He says he does, but he's
Speaks
been
five.
there for he's been
Wow, Juan.
he's been there for about 5 months and he can't. You know what, Steve? I met a Jamaican here in Japan and he said they
Oh
don't say man.
yes,
He said they don't say man. And I said, you must be lying, man, because I know a Jamaican named Steve Wright who does.
yes. It's in the name.
In the
Jamaican,
dictionary.
Jamaican man. Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
it's so funny that he's here teaching English because I told him, I said, well, that explains why a bunch of Japanese kids who had a Jamaican accent came up to me at the vending
Look
machine.
at
I said,
that.
why do we have no offense? I said, but why do we have it's just interesting that we have
You
accented English teachers teaching English because most Japanese people are trying to learn English of the American dialect to use
Well,
it. Like I don't
one
help
of
them
them.
either. I teach them
Give
how
them
to say
some.
y'all and bless your heart and all this stuff. So
Yo,
but it's worse
give
when
them
they're
my number,
speaking
Mr. Jesse.
Jamaican accent English in a Japanese. It's I didn't know what was being said, to be honest. I was like, I'm trying to track. I'm trying to track, but
All right. Well, we'll see you. We'll see you. Yeah, next week you'll be closer, and you can. Sure, I will dedicate I will dedicate next week for you refining your material,
Oh
and
boy.
I hope those.
like
I hope
gold
those.
in the fire and
I
revelation.
hope you've laminated. I hope you've laminated those dough balls by then, because they won't be in a fit state to be on camera
Well,
by
no,
next
that's the
week.
point, Steve. They're gonna grow little hairs and fuzz on them, and they're gonna be more accurate.
Okay.
Only
On
you.
that note.
On that note,
Okay, Carla, great to see you
2026.
as always.
Great too.
Runway votes. Get that out there. Drop a link
Drop
in
it in.
LinkedIn. I'll send it to DM us, and
Okay.
And
we'll
even if
get you
she
some
hasn't
votes on
voted
there.
for you in the past, please vote for her today.
Oh,
All right.
you are going to take a nap. It's nap time. Nap time for you and that hat.
That's funny. That's funny. Right up here. There you go.
Okay.
She got you. She got you. All right. All right. Take care, guys. Great to see you all. For those dropping in on replay, come and join us. Drop in every Wednesday, 4:30 UK time, Central. It's 11, I think, and 10:30 Eastern. So do your thing, whatever it is. You'll see us. All right. Sayonara. Laters.
Sayonara, dude.
All right. Bye all.